Hello there and welcome to Black Jackal Gaming. We're going to take a look at the Invader ATV, which is one of the Primaris mounted units. It's got a good toughness profile for a mounted unit. It's quite fast for what is essentially a gun platform, and does have the option to either be anti-infantry or anti-tank. It's got a cool ability where you can shoot back when you're near an outrider unit, and it's quite a small profile, so it's relatively easy to hide behind terrain. It can join an outrider squad as well, which is quite nice, but it is suffering from 9th edition points taxes. It's priced a little bit too high, really. So it's got quite a nice general profile, really, coming in at 70 points. It's movement 12, toughness 5, save 3+, and it's got very nice 8 wounds, leadership 6, and objective control 2, which isn't too bad. Its range is ballistic skill 3, and it comes with 2 main options for your main gun. First one being the multi-melter, which has the melter 2 keyword, so when you're at half range you get an additional 2 damage. That comes in at 18 inches, 2 attacks, strength 9, -4 AP, d6 damage. And then the second one is the anti-infantry option, which is the onslaught gatling. This comes with the devastating keyword, so when you roll your d6 for your wound roll, any critical wounds will go straight through the armor and straight onto their damage, which is quite nice. So that's 24-inch range, 8 attacks, strength 5, 0 AP, which is a bit disappointing, 1 damage. And then it's got the twin bolt rifle on the front of the chassis. That's got the twin link keyword, giving you the reroll to wounds. It's 24-inch range, 2 attacks, strength 4, -1 AP, 1 damage. And then you do come with the heavy bolt pistol. Only one of these has this, which is a bit on the strange side. You would have thought there'd be 2. But that's the pistol keyword, so it can shoot in and out of combat. Well, just shoot in combat, I should say. It's got 18-inch range, 1 attack, strength 4, -1 AP, and 1 damage. Then we've got the melee, which comes in at weapon skill 3. Now they only have a close combat weapon, which comes in at 5 attacks, strength 4, 0 AP, and 1 damage. And then we have the ability, which is called the Outrider Escort. So when you're within 6 inches of a friendly mounted unit, which is essentially just the outrider unit, if this model is being attacked by another unit, after that attacking model has finished its attacks, you can then select this model to shoot back. You can only select this model if it is an eligible unit to be shot at as well. But with the generally 18-inch range, it probably isn't going to come up that too often if you've got the multi-motor variant. So what buffs and combos can you give to the ATVs? Well, they can't have any characters join them unless they're in the Outriders squad, and then they can have the Chaplain join them, which that +1 to wound isn't going to be that beneficial for them. They do have the grenade keyword, so they can use the grenade strat, but as it's only one model, you're only rolling 1d6 on 4+, it does a mortal wound when you charge. So the only time you're going to use this really is if there's something that has to die and only has 1 wound left, and you have that CP spare to maybe push something off for an objective, or just knock them down where they no longer control the objective. So it could be quite useful, but it will be very niche and not come up that often. So there's a couple of detachments you can use these guys in. First being the Vanguard Spearhead. So when you're outside of 12 inches, you get that -1 to be hit, and you get the benefits of cover. So you're making an already relatively tough model for its size just stay around for a little bit longer. Then there's the stratagem you can use called Strike from Shadows. When you're outside of 12 inches, you can improve the ballistic skill and AP of the weapon. So you might not always use this on the melter because it's already got high AP, and you want to really get within 9 inches to get that melter 2 go off. But if you are using the Gatling, that additional AP is going to be very nice, and as well as hitting on 2s with that 8 shots you've got from it. Then you've got the Firestorm Assault Force. You gain the Assault keyword, and if you're targeting anything within 12 inches, then you get +1 to strength. So you can take your normal 12-inch movements, advance, and then still shoot your multi-melter, and you're likely going to be within melter range. And you've got that +1 strength, so you're coming in at strength 10. So when you're targeting things such as gladiator tanks, you're then going to be wounded on 4s rather than 5s, as well as being within melter range. And then there's a stratagem which is Crucible of Battle. If you're targeting the closest eligible unit within 6 inches, you get +1 to wound. So if you're within 6 inches of said gladiator tank, you're then going to be wounding them on 3s rather than 5s. So it's quite nice. Quite a nice little buff for them. Then there's the Stormlance Task Force. This is the White Scars detachment, so the rule is advanced and fall back and still be able to charge, which isn't going to be great for this type of unit, but it does allow you to have some first turn pressure if you do want to go and take some early points. And then you've got the Blitzen Fusillade stratagem. This allows you to gain the assault keyword to your ranged weapons, so again in the first turn you can get into quite advanced forward positions and still be able to fire your weapons to take out some early targets. And then there's the full throttle stratagem, which lets you auto advance 9 inches, so you're already moving 12 inches, so that's 21 inch threat range just on your movement to occupy space and score some points. This can come in quite clutch near towards the end of the game if you're still needing to score things like behind enemy lines, so you've got that 21 inches just to shoot behind enemy lines and pick up a couple of additional points. And then finally we have the Anvil Siege Force. You gain the heavy keyword when you're stationary, so you get +1 to hit. That's going to be very nice on your multi-motor, making it a little bit more consistent. And then if you use the Battle Drill Recall stratagem, you get sustained hit 1 and you critically hit on a 5 if you remain stationary. So you're going to be hitting on 2s and critting on 5s. The sustained might not come up that often with the multi-motor. You are rolling the dice for using a CP for maybe not to actually do anything. But if you do have the Gatling, having those 8 shots, you're going to get more critical hits going through, so you're going to get those sustained hits going off. All in all, it's quite a nice little model. It's a gun platform, so you can whiz around a fair bit and push out some damage. The only problem is it's slightly too expensive at the moment. Being 70 points, it's paying for the ability to shoot back when next to Outriders. But if you've ever going to be taking the multi-motor, they're just going to target the ATV first anyway, so it can't shoot back or just stand outside of those 18 inches. So you'll find the ability doesn't come off that often. It would be nicer if they just had an ability keyed in that was linked to the Gatling or the multi-motor. When you're targeting infantry or vehicles, you get a minor buff maybe to AP or to your wound, or you've got a re-roll of wounds at 1, something along those lines, just to make it slightly still a niche option, but actually be able to target the units that you want to be targeting with, rather than just getting to shoot back if Outriders happen to be near you. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any comments, then pop them below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, then please hit the like button, as it greatly helps the channel. Hit the subscribe button to see any future Warhammer content. Take it easy and see you next time for more grim darkness from the 41st millennium.